Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. What is up? We're going to be talking about some NBA playoffs. Playoffs kick off on Sunday, so I'm going to be giving you guys my prediction on who is going to make it out through the first round and so on and so forth. So let's get it started. Houston Rockets taking on the Timberwolves. We're going out west first for this one. And Houston's been on fire, man. Minnesota just barely made it into the playoffs this year, and I think they're missing one more key core player on their team for them to be a serious contender for the championship. But Houston's just looking way too OP for them. So I'm going to take Houston, man. I think Houston's going to do real good. I think Houston has probably the best chance at winning the championship this season, in my opinion. So with that said, let's move on to the second matchup. We got OKC taking on the Jazz. Rudy Gobert is the same thing, man. Like, I think if you build a team around Rudy Gobert a little bit more, they could definitely keep up. But Russell Westbrook's just too good, man. He didn't really have that great of a season this year as he did last year, but with PG-13 and Melo, I think they'll still get it done against Utah. However, I think they're going to lose against Houston in the next round. Houston's just way too good, so I'm going to have Houston going all the way to the conference finals between the four of these teams, but OKC's going to beat Utah. Rudy Gobert, I think, won't be able to do enough by himself for that team. So moving on to the second part on the West, we got Portland and the Pelicans, man. Boogie and Anthony Davis. You got the Unibrow and Boogie taking on Damian Lillard and McCollum. I really love Lillard. I've been on that dude ever since he got drafted to Golden State. But I think Boogie and Anthony Davis and the Pelicans are really going to get it done. I think they have a really solid team. And although Portland is third in the West right now, I think New Orleans can do it, man. I think they could definitely beat Portland. However, their next matchup between the Spurs and Golden State is not going to be easy. So regardless, Portland and New Orleans aren't going to make it to the conference finals. But I'm going to say the Pelicans are for sure going to beat Portland. So moving on to that second matchup, we got GS and the Spurs going head-to-head, a rematch from last year. And if there is a healthy Kawhi Leonard, I think the Spurs have a real good shot. And a lot of people are talking about Steph Curry re-aggravating his leg injuries. Is it over? Is it over? Is Steph's career done? Nah, I think he'll heal. I think he'll bounce back. He won't have a great playoff, but I think Golden State's still gonna get it done against the Spurs. It's gonna be tight though. Maybe if you toss in Zaza in there and maybe try and break Kawhi's leg this time, yeah, maybe they'll win again. But nah, all jokes aside, man, I still think Golden State can win. I mean, they should be winning. They've got way too OP of a team, and I don't see why they couldn't beat San Antonio again, even with Kawhi in the lineup. So I'm going to say Golden State's going to move on and then move on to the conference finals and take out the Pelicans as well. So the finals in the West is going to be Houston and Golden State. But we're going to go to the East, and we're going to start off from the top, Toronto and Washington. Washington has been solid without John Wall, and I think John Wall should just move on and go start a new team of his own, or just join a team. A good team, or a good example, is maybe a team like Minnesota. They might not need him specifically, but you know, you might as well just go start, hop on a team with a lot of power already and try and get that ring for once. So Washington without John Wall, I think, is probably even better, but I still think Toronto's way too good, and Toronto is probably going to make the conference finals, so I'm going to take Toronto over Washington. Cleveland and Indiana. Indiana hasn't really had a lot of experience ever since PG left, so I'm going to have to take the King with that one. That's pretty obvious. King James. So it's going to be Toronto and Cleveland. And then we got in the next matchup Boston and Milwaukee. Kyrie against Giannis. I love both those dudes. Pretty great guys, man. Like Giannis Antetokounmpo breaking records all over the place. But I think Kyrie mentally is more prepared than Giannis. I think that's what's going to elevate his game more than everybody on Milwaukee. And I think Boston has been doing it since day one at the start of this season. So I think Boston's going to beat Milwaukee. And then the second matchup, we got Philly taking on Miami. Philly's been way too goddamn hot. Just got off like a 16-game point streak win streak. I don't know what I'm saying. 16-game win streak. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. That team's looking real nice, real solid. And shout out to Philly, man. They're getting it done. Meek Millie is probably super proud. So it's gonna be Philly and Boston, and then Cleveland and Toronto. Again, man, Kyrie against Philly. I think Philly's gonna get it done against Boston, man. I think they've been way too good recently. I think that's gonna really carry them over. I think if Boston maybe had Gordon Hayward from the beginning, that could have made a difference. But ever since he just broke his leg first game of the season, I think that really hurt their chances quite a lot. So I'm gonna take Philly, man. I think Philly's gonna go to the conference finals. And then in the other matchup between Toronto and Cleveland, I mean, it's the king, man. It's so logical to go with the king, but I think Toronto's gonna get it done. DeMar and Kyle Lowry have been absolutely insane, and they're number one in the East. So I'm gonna have to go with Toronto. So I think it's gonna be Toronto and Philly, Golden State and Houston. Now the question is, who's gonna go on to the finals? If I honestly had to guess, I think Golden State's not gonna make it. That would be crazy. 4 years in a row going to the finals is absolutely crazy, but I don't think that is going to happen. I think Houston's gonna win. If they keep James Harden healthy and keep him and Chris Paul in the lineup, they're for sure gonna outbeat the Golden State Warriors. Like I said, Steph has had leg problems recently, so that is going to be a big factor in how they play the game. So I'm going to take Houston. And then in the East, I'm probably, man, I really want to jump on Philly, man. Like, they used to be absolute shit like a year ago, but Toronto's way too good, man. I think Toronto's going to get it done. I think it's going to be a matchup between the number 1 and the number 1. To me, that's the most logical choice, honestly. No one has been better than those two teams all season. Maybe debatably Golden State and possibly Boston, but other than that, I don't see any other teams that have been better than Houston and Toronto. Now, who I think is gonna win it all, man, is a very tough choice. I'm gonna say, you know what, man, I don't know. I feel like DeMar definitely cracks under pressure. If you guys watch that All-Star game, he definitely did crack under pressure in the last couple minutes there. I'm gonna go with Houston. I think it's their time to shine. I think Chris Paul is gonna get his first championship. Clint Capella too, Eric Gordon. I think all of those guys are gonna get it. So I'm gonna say Houston is probably gonna win it all, man. I think it's well deserved. They had a great season, and it's more likely to keep coming and coming for them. They're just gonna have to keep building a better and better team to keep up with the league nowadays. But James Harden, probably gonna get MVP if I had to guess. And yeah, man, Houston. I think Houston's gonna win it all. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think Toronto's gonna win it? Golden State again? Maybe Philly, man. Philly's looking good. I really hope Philly can make it far, because Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, I'm riding on those guys hard, man. They're dope young dudes. So I don't know, guys. I got Houston. Who do you guys got? Let me know in the comments down below. Like if you guys agree with my picks. If not, comment what I should have changed about my selections, and let me know, guys. Other than that, it's been your boy. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.